welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a custom-tailored mission today to extract the hidden aha moments from what looks like, well, a totally dry hardware spec sheet. I mean, we're looking at the Hall Technologies KVM-HDU-4, a 4-port HDMI KVM switch.
Right, which sounds incredibly dry on the surface.
Exactly. But, okay, let's unpack this. Imagine hitting a switch on your desk and waiting, like, 3 agonizing seconds for your computer to just rediscover your keyboard.
Oh man, yeah, that reconnecting lag is just the absolute bane of any multi-computer setup.
Right, because if you're balancing, say, a work laptop, maybe a personal rig, and a home server on one desk right now, the absolute friction of switching inputs.
Yeah, when you use a basic USB hub, it physically disconnects you, so the computer completely drops the connection, and then, it has to rebuild that whole handshake from scratch when you switch back. But what's fascinating here is how this KVM bypasses that entirely.
Wait, so how does it bypass it? Like, physically?
Well, it uses hardware-level keyboard and mouse emulation. So the hardware itself is basically maintaining an active, dedicated handshake with every single machine simultaneously.
So it's less like someone actively plugging and unplugging cables and more like, I don't know, a clever maitre d' tricking 4 VIP tables into thinking they each have a dedicated waiter.
That is a great way to put it, yeah. The computers never panic because they never actually realize you stepped away. The operating system always sees a keyboard and mouse plugged in.
Right, which completely eliminates that delay.
Yeah.
But wait, that makes total sense for USB data because that's, relatively light. But feeding 4 separate computers into a single display, that is a whole different beast entirely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, video takes way more bandwidth.
Yeah, so if we're aggressively routing multiple video feeds through one switch, doesn't the video quality inevitably bottleneck or degrade at some point?
You would think so, right? But to push 4K video without bottlenecking, you just need a massive data pipe. And this device has an 18 gigabits per second bandwidth capacity.
Oh, wow. 18 gigabits. That is huge.
Yeah, it is a pipe wide enough to handle 4K UHD natively. That means you don't have to compress the image at all. You get to keep a smooth 60 frame per second refresh rate across the board.
Okay, unless you intentionally dial back the color sampling depth, right? Because the Discovery would run at 30 hertz.
Exactly, yeah, depending on your color settings. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the elegance of the design is really in the simplicity. Like, it is totally OS independent.
You need no software drivers, right? Just plug and play.
None at all. It handles Windows, Linux, Mac natively. And often you don't even need to plug it into a wall outlet. It just draws its power directly from the connected USB host computers.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because for the $566 price tag, they also included an integrated 2-port USB 2.0 hub.
Right, which is super handy for extras.
Yeah, so you can plug in, say, a touch screen or an external camera or even audio peripherals, and the switch just seamlessly routes them to whichever PC is currently active.
Right, because by bypassing the OS and just running on bus power, it takes the whole physical act of managing all that hardware and makes it, practically invisible to you.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, for anyone whose digital brain is constantly scattered across multiple operating systems, eliminating that daily switching friction is just huge.
It really is. I mean, you stop fighting with your setup.
Exactly. You can actually maintain a smooth, centralized workflow without constantly waiting for your devices to catch up.
Absolutely. This raises an important question, actually. There's this really interesting detail hidden down in the physical specs of the device.
Oh, you mean the enclosure?
Yeah, it's built with this commercial-grade metal enclosure.
Yeah.
And it has an MTBF, a mean time between failures of 90,000 hours.
Wow. I mean, 90,000 hours, that is over 10 years of continuous, nonstop use.
Right. So as our individual laptops and computers become increasingly disposable, we constantly swap them out for newer models.
Yeah, every couple of years, usually at least for phones and laptops.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, are the physical traffic control hubs we use to route our machines actually becoming the most permanent, longest-lasting fixtures in our personal tech ecosystems?
That is a wild thought.
Yeah.
You might cycle through a dozen different laptops over the next decade, but that same hardware shortcut, that little traffic controller, is going to be holding down your desk the entire time.